Let's listen to some Gonzalo Lira. That's his YouTube name. He's got 147,000 subscribers. Gonzalo Lira.
Hey guys. Wasn't my fault, man. I don't know what the hell happened. It just cut out all on its own. As you could see, I was just talking away and it just cut out. Sorry about that, man. I mean, I wish I could do something about it, but it just happened. Yeah. I don't know if they're playing games, man. I mean, it's just one of those wild things, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm back. And, look, people are going to drift back in, so I'm just going to keep on talking. As I was talking about the Azov Battalion people, basically, the Azov Battalion, there are still pockets of resistance in the town of Mariupol. And they're going to fight to the death. And because they know that if they surrender, they're dead men. That something horrible is going to happen, so better to go down fighting, okay? And so that's what they're doing. Now, insofar as, sorry, I got a little bit thrown there, and so I think that the interesting...
So he seems to know his stuff. He's interesting. Apparently he's an American who's been living in the Ukraine, and he's just, YouTubing. He was talking about dating advice. He's talking about financial advice, and the goddamn, invasion and the resistance just fell right on top of him. So Gonzalo Lira, I don't even know if that's really who he is or if he's a fictional character. He does seem to be he speaks honestly. And so he's not just parroting any line from either of the state governments. I won't say he seems more on the Russian side to me, but he also seems like he could be like trying to, toe the line, trying to be fair and balanced too. I want to remind you all in internet land what Putin had said though, real quick. He said, you want to see decommunization? You want to decommunize the Ukraine because they're like taking Lenin statues down? He says, I'll show you what decommunization looks like. So that means fucking Vlad the Mad is both denazifying and decommunizing the Ukraine. No, he's trying to genocide. He's trying to wipe it out. He thinks that the Ukraine is not its own nation, that it's just a puppet client county and an administrative unit of fucking Russia. Motherfucking goddamn Ukraine's been around since, 1187? Motherfucking 800 years the Ukraine has been around. Motherfuckers act like they just created it, yesterday. Anyways. Fuck Putin. He's a liar. Okay, Gonzalo Lira. I hope Gonzalo Lira is alive. Apparently, nobody's heard from him for 5 days. It's April 20th right now. April 15th was the last anybody had heard of him. Now, like I said, I thought he was more pro, Russia, but he seemed like he was talking like real close to his. It made it seem like he's critical of Zelensky, and so I don't know. To me, it feels like if he was in America when the British and America was fighting, and he's just kind of like, and the British is over here, and the British killed a bunch of Americans because the goddamn Americans wouldn't obey the king. So it's like he's all kind of, clearly on one side over the other, and Gonzalo Lira. So I can't say one thing or the other. I haven't heard anything, good or bad. So I can't say, that dude provided evidence saying one thing. Ritter, is he alive? Is he dead? I feel like, let's just, say there's two options. He's in jail. He's captured. He's being held against his will, but he's alive. So he's captured. He's in jail, which is the good option, right? Or he's freaking dead. And there is a report, this guy's fucking crying and like acting like dude's dead. He's dead. It's coming out of Russia, but he was like in goddamn tears. So I don't know, who this Gonzalo Lira is. The hit piece said he could be a character, but, from the Kremlin, which is fucking remarkable. That would be fucking genius too, wouldn't it? Like, who the fuck was that guy? Gonzalo Lira. He talked to Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter talked to him, so I don't think dude provided. Let's see. So I think Ritter said some guy said that he was dead or something. Nobody's provided any evidence of of Gonzalo Lira's death or his encapturement or his, him being in jail. So really, it's just a question up in the air. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Gonzalo Lira? So just ask the question, and maybe we're floating the idea to get some information, because people say no news is good news. I don't know. No news could be good news. But I think what I want to say is some news would be great fucking news. Some news would be great fucking news. Because this story is going to just stay right here until what? I mean, this story stays right here. It's just going to pause until we figure something else out. So I don't know him. I just remember he said one idea that I remembered was that the humanitarian corridors allowed for Russian troops to deflect. And so he was saying that he was in favor of the humanitarian corridors so the, Russian troops can just kind of slip on into the humanitarian and just get the hell on out of Dodge. Gonzalo Lira, I don't think he's a pro-Putin puppet, even if he's more in line with Kremlin. I don't think he's a pro-Putin puppet. But he is a critic of Zelensky. And so, Jesus Christ, I had this thing pop. Is there a NATO general in Mariupol? Maybe that was the question. Is that a question he wasn't supposed to ask? Is there a NATO general in...
And they all disappeared. They all got silenced.
Oh. Man. I'll just read what I got here. So, the SBU, he said he was worried about the Daily Beast might have something. He wrote a hit piece on him, and so they had said he's there, and, Kharkiv looking for him or some shit. The Daily Beast wanted him dead or just really hated him, so it was a hit piece that could turn into like a real hit piece. The SBU would be the Ukrainian Security Service. Apparently, the hit piece was like, said he was like a sleazy dating coach or something, and I don't know. He was supposed to be on George Galloway's Mother of All talk show, so there's scheduled appearances that he's supposed to be at, and he hasn't. Somebody typed him a message, and you could see that he hadn't clicked on it, so he hadn't read it. I'm hoping he's sitting in a Ukrainian jail someplace. I hope he's sitting in a Ukrainian jail someplace. I hope he's alive. The soldiers, there was some tweet that I had seen. They were being cheeky. It seemed like they were being cheeky, not like blood murderous fucking psychos, but it said like, if you know what happened to, Gonzalo Lira, then, flex your bicep or some shit. And then there's like a picture of like 3 or 4 guys and one guy was flexing his bicep. So I don't know if that was, who knows what's propaganda and what's not these days, huh? So there's no evidence he's alive, but there's also no evidence that he's dead. No news, good news. I say some news would be great news. That's all I'm going to say. Some news would be great news. The Daily Beast and its journalist Marquet gone out of their way to publish an elaborate smear piece on Gonzalo Lira. Even go so far as to contact the SBU in order to alert them that he's broadcasting reports critical of the Ukrainian government from the city of Kharkiv. I thought it's Kharkiv. Why are they saying Kharkiv? This shameful and dangerous operation by the Daily Beast was complimented by other partisan U.S. journalists. Seemed to suggest that Lira was working as a Russian spy, an accusation which certainly designed to bring harm to him. He could just float out the suggestion in order to get some info or confirmation that the dude is still alive. It seems to me he's either in jail or worse. I'm hoping he's in jail and not worse. April 15th, 5 days missing. Lira reported on financial dating topics before the invasion. March 2022, the Daily Beast published a smear article highly critical of Gonzalo Lira. In the article, they reported he is an American living in Kharkiv. Said he was in Kyiv when the Russian invasion began. Lira said he was trying to report on what was happening from the ground and be as balanced and factually accurate as I could be. The Daily Beast reported that his reporting sometimes consisted of wild claims that tended to side with Russia more than Ukraine. And he is possibly a fictional character created by the Kremlin. And he might just be a fiction of your imagination. Did we just see this guy talk in this? Let's see. Where is Ukrainian journalist Gonzalo Lira redacted? Darren Shanker, attorney. Call 22222222222.
This is Russia. The Russians are 10 kilometers away. This is in the city. So this reporting likely got him killed. I mean, let's be frank about it. It's absolutely sad right now that Gonzalo Lira, an amazing reporter, was scheduled to be on that show, has no showed. He's been missing now for over 3 days or longer, depending on what those who had contact with him last. And so to put kind of a bow on this, Scott Ritter was on with George Galloway a short time later to confirm not being able to speak with him and to confirm some of these reports about the Azov Battalion and the Nazis who have been killing civilians in this region. And here's what Scott Ritter had to say. U.S. Marine Scott Ritter confirming these reports.
Kharkiv is definitely a city that is firmly in the grip of the Nazis, and anybody who lives in that city, such as Mr. Lira, who is not of that political persuasion, is at risk.
The whole city is captured by Nazis. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Here's I. Earl Grey. This guy was in tears. It made it seem like, I don't know if it's real or not, but him fucking crying. He cried for you, Gonzalo Lira. So just the idea that it was possible, he was real sad about. It also says it's coming out of fucking, let's say he's a Russia. I don't know.
But time has passed. Hope has diminished. The West has been silent. I wanted to believe because there was no evidence or anything workable to go on. Didn't stop Russia today, as I reported and as I shared. I'm not going to ask you to share this video. I'm going to ask you to get fucking outraged on social media. Go nuts, go ballistic. Scott's right. Freedom of speech isn't a one-way street. This is the government.
Freedom of speech isn't a one-way street. Freedom of speech, that's, there's between an American and not an American. You don't believe in freedom of speech? Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. You don't believe in free speech? Well, I don't give a fuck what kind of war, how bad things get. You got a right to fucking speak up, because if we're all fucking walking this way and that's where the goddamn landmine is, but this guy knows, but he's too afraid to speak up because you're a fucking Nazi, fuck you. I want that motherfucker to say, hey guys, there's a landmine right, there's a goddamn fucking, what was Titanic ran into iceberg. Hey, there's a goddamn iceberg. Hey Titanic. Excuse me, point of order. Point of order. There's an iceberg straight ahead. Don't mean to be a burden. Don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Don't want to be a Debbie, but there's I want to know that there's a fucking iceberg, right before, way before, one moment beforehand. I want to know yesterday that there's a fucking iceberg. So, in groupthink, fucking free speech is a badass fucking concept. That's, when shit hits the fan, that's how you're going to know the difference between a Nazi and an American. Hey, what do you think about free speech? Well, sometimes, there's fight words. Pow, pow, pow. Sometimes there's treasonous words too, you motherfucker. Sometimes those are fighting words. I guess if I'm asking you if you believe in free speech, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, free speech is wonderful. It's great. It's how you organize your thoughts. It's how you, stop groupthink. It's, of course, you have a right to speak. What the fuck are you saying? You don't have a right to harass. And there's, of course, exceptions. But when it comes down to, do you have a right to speak, motherfucker? Have you not read the Bill of Rights? Have you not read the Bill of fucking Rights? Motherfucking free speech. We have free speech since, legal free speech since 1780 fucking 9. 1791, some shit. So over 200 goddamn years, 230 fucking years of legal free speech. And we're going to be, put free speech on a fucking, sometimes, that's true. But we're not just whispering to the damn grass here. We're speaking, we're singing, we're yelling, we're, explaining, we're joking, we're whatever, So is there fighting words? Yeah, I mean, there are exceptions, but my point is the main thrust. Not only do we have a right to free speech, we have a right to peacefully assemble. We have a right to revolution. We have a right to self-defense. We have a right to consent to those who govern us. We have a right to freedom, love, hope, justice, strength, virtue, solidarity, democracy. We have natural rights. We have natural rights. We have a lot of natural rights. I'll end off on what natural rights. We have the natural right to self-defense, a natural right to revolution, natural right to oxygen, food, water, clothing, warmth, and housing, a natural right to speak, a right to bear arms, a right to peacefully assemble, a right to subpoena, a right to a trial by jury, a right to life, liberty, property, safety, security. Yeah, we got a right to speak. You're not an American? I mean, if it's wartime, they used to, I want to say in World War I, they used to ask people questions about baseball. And so, because Americans love baseball, they knew the fucking players, they knew the games, they knew, they could talk about fucking baseball and they could go on and on about it. So when you ask people about what's your favorite team and shit like that, people would know Hank Aaron or fucking Babe Ruth. I don't know what, maybe World War or some other war. I don't fucking, but the point is, yeah, that'd be my question. If I was running a regiment, Russia invaded America. You support free speech? Soviet Russia, we hate the free speech. So hopefully that Gonzalo Lira, I hope he's okay, because I did watch something and all he had said was that the one piece that I heard was that a Russian soldier could deflect into the humanitarian corridor, which is right, which is correct. So the, Occam's razor, what seems most obvious is most likely. So what most likely seems to me, Gonzalo Lira is not a fiction. He's a real person. The Kremlin didn't create him. He's got 147,000, fucking subscribers. So he had to build that up a little bit. He's there in the fucking place. So that makes him, a very important journalist, a very important truth teller about what the fuck is going on. And that could threaten anybody and everybody. So I believe he is, whatever, maybe Chilean, American, what have you, living in Kharkiv. I believe that general thing is, that general vibe, maybe he's European or something. I don't know. But American, Chilean, living in Kharkiv when the fucking shit went down. He went to Kyiv to, film the reporting. You saw the shit. You heard the bombings and shit. So maybe that is why. But he's getting, real war footage. And that's, as a citizen, that's a good Ukrainian. That's a good citizen of Ukraine. That's a person who says shit's going down and I'm here to record it. Why? Frankly, why isn't everybody in goddamn Ukraine Facebook live in every fucking moment? Facebook Live every goddamn moment. Every goddamn moment. We need to see the blood. We need to see the limbs. We need to see the dead bodies. We need to shove this shit right into people's fucking faces. We sanitize war way too goddamn much. It's bloody. It's sick. It's disgusting. And yeah, right, if you fight back, you might escalate the damn thing. But if you don't fight back, what the fuck are you saying? Go ahead and just run roughshod. Yeah, go ahead. You can rape my wife and children. You can steal all my goddamn things. You can burn my fucking house down. And I'm just going to say, thank you. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You basically what? Goddamn fucking raped the shit out of me. And didn't even give me a kiss goodbye. Didn't even leave a little mint on my pillow. Just no Vaseline, not a kiss goodbye, no mint on my pillow. Just a fucking raw dog raping right there. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. So, yeah. Hopefully Gonzalo Lira is still alive.